Thank you. Not the words a rescuing hero wants to hear from his damsel in distress. May I say, your eyes are much prettier when they're not glowing like hot coals.
Peter, I've made an extraordinarily frightening discovery.
Why don't you all go away?
All my data indicate that the ghost world is beginning to push through multiple cross portals from their dimension into ours.
Well, more overtime.
Guys, look.
Or of 7.
I'm not gonna lie, she's kind of thick though.
Why are we fighting body positivity's spokesperson here?
I thought she was hot.
I feel like all of the weight that Adele lost went into that ghost.
That's so mean.
Winston, get the lady out of here before he hits on her again.
Aim for the big yellow eye.
Who wouldn't like to have that superpower?
Care to tell me why my library, museum, and parade are all going down the toilet?
I keep telling you, sir, the Ghostbusters are nothing but scam artists determined to throw a negative light on you and the city and extort you for more money.
Hello, Peck. I own that suit in blue.
Both of you, pipe down!
Mr. Mayor, an enormous event is on the horizon.
Something at the museum exhibit triggered a systemized psychic occurrence. Some mechanism we don't know the nature of yet.
No, of course you don't.
But it's feeding enormous energy somewhere.
Something that's now in the process of breaking down the walls between our world and another one.
This other world is crossing through into ours. It started with simple ghosts and animated monsters.
Now it's getting bigger. We don't know exactly what's next, but there's only room for one city here in this dimension.
Two physical worlds can't exist in the same space. That's just elementary particle physics.
We got a glimpse of the other world, Jock. It ain't pretty. It's like Brooklyn and the Bronx with no Queens in the middle.
Whole city blocks sinking into a fifth-dimensional abyss.
Cockroaches the size of polo ponies.
Panic in the streets.
How'd you like disco to come back? Bigger than ever.
I get it. We're in trouble. So what am I supposed to do?
We need to prepare the city for the
The
worst.
city's my responsibility, not yours. Now go do your job and stop that thing.
Why is the mayor always like a dumbass in this universe?
I don't know. So I guess we didn't finish this world?
I guess not. And we didn't even get to fight that ghost.
Follow the chairman? Ooh, we're in New Vegas. Hey, I built on your New Vegas
Hey,
joke.
nice.
Hey, the joke that I made earlier that you got upset about.
I didn't get upset at it. I was trying to actually say something. You're the one who gets butthurt every time you go through the recordings, and you're like, people didn't listen to me.
It was a joke, Bubby. Stop bringing up things that hurt my feelings.
2 minutes and 32 seconds.
Stop it.
Didn't hurt your feelings.
Hurt my feelings. I don't know where Chairman went.
Here, come on.
Is this chairman now?
I was gonna say, by the way,
he's my friend.
I was gonna say, by the way, about the fairy godmother thing. Not overly feminine, but I was going to say they made him overly, like there is a certain point where it kind of becomes offensive where they make somebody like overly too much of a character, if that makes sense. Like, yeah, I couldn't find where he is. What I'm trying to say is like.
Okay, here they made him a gay caricature.
Yes, they made him like overly like offensively gay, if that makes sense. Like it felt offensive and tokenized to me.
You can destroy that.
And I kind of felt like it was like not right.
Yeah, it came off weirdly cartoonish.
Yeah.
There are very few people that actually act that way. Yeah, I agree. But they don't know how to do character writing anymore.
Right.
Especially with gay people.
Any type of person. Well, you know what it is? It's like, oh, what's important about this character? She's a woman.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh,
right.
Okay. What's important about this character? I don't know. His skin is darker.
He likes men.
Right.
That's it. Like the writing in a lot of stuff is lazy, and people are like, well, why do people get upset when there's like a gay character and stuff, or when there's this or that, it's like, yes, genuinely there are a handful of people that are just shit people who get angry anytime they see something different than them. That is true. But there's also a lot of people who just kind of find the writing lazy around a lot of these characters because it's just cartoonish,
right,
and not three-dimensional. Like the guy we're playing as, the character writing around this rookie Ghostbuster is horrible.
Yeah.
He would be an example of like a cartoonish caricature type character that does nothing.
Yeah.
In fact, he's even worse than that. He has no personality, to the point where we've had to make up a joke about him being a racist.
And
he has no lines.
Yeah, he doesn't talk at all. There's nothing to him.
Yeah, and plus also the character depiction of these other characters is always like different and changing, and you like never know what it is. You know, like they'll have like, for example, Brie Larson's Captain Marvel, and she comes off like a complete prick and so unlikable. And then you have like a character like Black Widow that for some reason they like put a lot of writing into, and like everyone likes Black Widow. Like it's just, you never know what to even expect. So then I feel like when people see like woman character, there's enough bad versions of those characters, there's enough versions of that type of style that people have just been like, oh, throw a woman in there, that it kind of just leaves people with the bad foot of like, oh, here we go again.
Yeah, whereas,
you know, it's like
I enjoyed, I'm not saying she's written super well, but I liked Rey from Star Wars.
I did too.
But a lot of people didn't like her because they thought she was just going to be a woman and that's it.
Yeah. Right, and she's not super deeply written and could have been written a lot better, but like, she was also lumped in with that age of like Captain Marvel type stuff,
right,
where even if she was written a lot better, a lot of people wouldn't have cared, you know?
Right.
I mean, that's just an example of that. And I mean, you're 100% right about like Captain Marvel versus Black Widow. And I don't think people should just immediately judge the character as like, oh, a black guy, he's going to be bad, or oh, a gay character, they're going to be bad. But the problem is there's a track record of it just being lazy, where they just have the character be of some type of minority group or some type of background specifically just to stick out to that group of people, and not because it benefits the character or because they have anywhere to take it.
But it also specifically annoys me when they like write in a gay character to all these things to like be inclusive and stuff, and then they make that gay character like completely like out of this world, like overly
like really ditzy and like, hey guys,
and like weird, and it's like most gay people act like normal human beings.
Right, they're
like
just
they
like
don't
a
act like
normal
that.
person.
We're not all James Charles.
Right, it's just that they like dick or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
It's not.
That's what bothers me is like you can have a gay person.
That's cool.
And have them be a normal human being and have them be a interesting character in a story.
Right. But people don't think like that.
It bothers
These like
me.
movie producers are just like, oh well, gay people exist and we don't want to get canceled. Just put one in there.
And then just have him say yas a couple of
And it's
times
like
and
a-
put like glitter on his eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It's boring character writing. And, you know, the problem is there's been a lot of that type of boring character writing for white people forever, too. It's just nobody ever pointed it out because it's like, you know, that was the majority of the roles, so it was just seen as, oh, that's a bad character.
Yeah.
But, like, once that started switching to the other side, it became more noticeable of why it was that way, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think that it's a bit of a shame in general. Oh, yeah.
Oh, cool.
No, I agree. I mean, this also comes back to just Hollywood is lazy.
Well,
Yep.
typically, yes.
Well, and it's like, what's the... And then the thing that I don't get is, like, people get mad at you for, like, well, why don't you like this character? It's like, why don't you? Don't you want, like, gay people to just be portrayed as normal?
Yeah. Like, don't you want
Or
a
do you-
well-written gay
Yeah,
character
or do
for once in your
do
life?
you want, like, these gay people to be, like, stereotypes? Why are you mad at me? I just want them to be a normal character.
The funniest one to me was when I said that Tim Drake was written poorly, but I thought that Harley and Ivy were a well-written, like, you know, same-sex couple.
Yeah.
And people were mad. It's like, well, you just think that because they're hot. It's like, really, we're going to reach this far to try and like, discredit that take because you want Tim Drake to like dick? That's all we have here.
Right.
Well, that's also what bothers me about something like Legend of Korra, is because she wasn't written as like an overly gay, like not normal character.
Collider.
That when she decided she wanted to be with a woman at the end, which is like totally fine for her to decide, people were like, "Oh, they're forcing the gayness." Like, no, she literally was best friends with Asami. Like, they build up their relationship over the course of 4 seasons, and then at the end they decide that they want to go to the spirit world together and like fall in love. And also, like they write about that really well in the comics.
Can I also point out, you don't have to care. Like, you don't even have to read. Okay, well, why are they telling me to do that over there?
I don't know.
You don't have to read those comics if you like. I'm not saying you shouldn't just because they're gay in them or whatever, or bi or whatever. Because like Korra's bi, right? Or Pan or whatever.
She's bi.
Okay, I don't know. If,
She's really into like dishes.
Yeah.
Well, look, there's like a 1,000 fancy terms too. I am a simple person. I understand hetero, homo, and bi, and I understand not caring at all. Like those 4. I don't really personally understand all the in-betweens, like Pan and Demi and all these things. And I probably never will. I don't get it. It's not me.
Get to the point, though.
But, like, jeez. You don't need to read those comics anyway if you don't want to. It was supplementary material, and her being interested in girls was nothing more than slightly hinted to my understanding throughout that story. Never pushed.
Yeah, it
doesn't matter.
Yeah, it was something that wasn't really in the story until the 4th season.
It was something that they didn't even really talk about until the comics, when she like and Asami fell in love. Like, to my understanding, they were still friends like at the end of the series. You know, when they like walked off together into the sunset.
Where do you go?
Well, yeah, just like all this stuff. What I'm saying is that in particular is a terrible example, not from you, but from anybody to get mad at, because it's not even really in the show.
Right.
Who cares? You know, and even if it was, who cares? Like, I guess my thing is write your characters well, and I don't care. You know, like, Peacemaker is bi.
Is he actually?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't really care. It doesn't, like, do anything for me either way. Like, I don't care about it, and I also don't not care about it.
I guess
I just like that character.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
That's,
like, I don't know.
That was the thing that bothered me, though, is like I finally saw like a normally written character, like, who is strong and like just a normal woman who grows up and, you know, has an actual character arc and a personality and stuff, and she ends up being bi and falling in love with a woman. And like, for me, that was something that I finally found interesting. Like, it wasn't just a forced thing. Like, they didn't just go, oh, by the way, like, Yas and Sparkles, and like, she has no personality except for being gay, and like, this entire story is just gonna be about like her scissoring Asami.
Can you PKE me or take a picture of that guy?
Yeah. Maybe this guy too.
Yeah, both of them. I mean, I didn't watch this show. I've seen clips of it, so I don't, like, yet. So I don't have, like, a strong opinion. However, I did read the beginning of that first graphic
Rune of
novel.
the Empire?
Yeah, just because, like, I got it.
It was Turf Wars, not Rune of the Empire.
Was it? Okay.
Okay, well, anyway, I read the beginning of that, and I thought it was well written, too. So, like, this is my thing is, from an outside perspective, I don't care as long as your characters are well written. Now, personally, me, a man who is heterosexual, do I find 2 women together to be really pretty? Yeah, because it's like chocolate. I'm not objectifying people here, but I'm just saying, I love candy bars, right? You know, or pizzas. If you put 2 delicious looking pizzas in front of me, of course I'm going to think 2 pizzas is better than 1. But it's not like I think 2 pizzas together is objectively more correct and better. It's just I'm thinking with my own animal sexual brain, you know what I mean?
Right.
But, like, if there's 2 men together, I don't care either. Like,
are you repulsed by it?
No, not really. I just don't find it attractive because I'm not into men. But I might find those men to be attractive people. Like, for example, I can tell when a man is good looking.
Right, like me.
Yeah, mainly
course,
you.
Of course.
And that doesn't make me gay, and it also doesn't bother me or make me feel less masculine that I can tell either. So I don't know. I just think people read into this stuff the way they want to. Like, when people really want there to be a certain type of character, they will read into it to defend it, whether it's written well or not. And if they don't want there to be, they'll read into it to get mad about it, you know?
I guess that's just something that bothers me, because that's one of, like, my favorite shows of all time.
How did we all go down
And
at
then
one time?
Then everybody just shits on it just because, like, she ends up gay at the end. And it's like, that's a normal thing for, like, a young girl who is a teenager to eventually realize when she's
20 at the end, 18 to 20.
Yeah, and like in the beginning she's like 16. You know, it's normal for a girl at that age to grow up and realize that she is interested sexually in both, you know, because that's something that happens to a lot of young girls.
I agree with you. Did you see the synchronized running? That's what I was laughing at. They were all walking at the same right, left, right, left.
I didn't notice that. That's funny.
Yeah, well, so, and people will get mad about this, because I said this too about Tim Drake. That's a character that's been around for 30-something years, and no version of him has ever had any inkling of being into men. Right. And people are like, but he's young. It's like, yeah, but his writing isn't. We've gone through like 50 versions of this guy, and none of them have liked men. Right. Or at least ever expressed any interest ever. You know, that's different than, hey, here's 4 seasons of a story. The character started out as 16, now it's like 2 years later, and they are. Right. Because people do
grow up and change.
And they decide that stuff and become more solidified in their identity in their early or late teens to mid-20s. Mm-hmm. It is, despite what people want to think, it is an anomaly for someone to come out as gay or bi in their 40s or 50s or 60s or trans. Yeah.
Yeah, it's more normal for it to be like when you're 20.
Now, if you want to do that, more power to you. I live in a little place called America, where if you don't infringe anyone else's rights, you can do whatever you want, and I could not care less. Right. I just don't care. But it is an anomaly statistically. For like if I turned 60 and came out as trans, that is far less common than someone coming out as trans at 22. Yeah. Right. That's just statistics. Because generally people start to figure out that kind of stuff about themselves, and you can take this any direction, the type of person they want to be, their morals, stuff like that. They start to develop those things in early adulthood, and then they solidify them, and then they change some over time, but they don't change massively. Right. Unless you have some kind of trauma or go through a big life-changing event. You are typically... At 60, you have a lot of the same values you had at 30. Right. It's just they've changed some. And so because of that, it's weird to me when people get mad about this stuff. Like, yeah, a new character is extremely different than an established character. Nate and I, you and I, Nate, have talked about this like 3,000 times. You want to make your character gay, then make them gay. Don't change it 30 years from now. Yeah, because it looks forced. And even if it's not supposed to be forced, it looks forced to people. And then people don't take that type of character seriously. Right. You know, like, it ruins it for everybody. And, you know, I think there's a reason why a lot of people are so off-put by that type of character. It's because they see it as, like, a forced cartoon, like what you said, Jill. And they don't see a natural, aspect to that character that makes sense or is well written, which is at the end of the day what people want out of a character. How come they all go down at the same time?
So what you're saying is Timothy Drake should have had a child and then groomed him to be gay, and then had him get.
That's how it works.
Then had him
and
get
Ben with his own son.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I was going to say get with that guy. Like, what was he? John from Superman? Like that one guy.
Jonathan Kent.
Yeah, Jonathan Kent. Like. He should have had that guy like have a kid too, and then raise his kid to be gay, and then Tim Drake's kid and Jonathan Kent's kid like get together.
Unfortunately for Korra and Asami, and Harley and Ivy, those two groups have fallen under the. This is something I just thought of right now that I wanted to say. Mm-hmm. They have fallen under the stereotype of people seeing two friends be paired up and thinking that authors think anyone who's a friend wants to bone. Right. Because that's also a problem. Like, that's been a thing in character writing forever, too, where, like, authors sexually read into friendships. Mm-hmm. And so even when it does work, like Harley and Ivy, where Ivy has always been extremely sexually flexible in both directions, and so has Harley. Mm-hmm. People see that happen now, and they're like, oh, well, they're clearly forcing that.
Right.
And it's because of a history of character writing actually forcing that, you know what I mean? From
which is
other
upsetting.
things. And so what I'm saying is the poorly written things ruin the good written things for everybody. And they make everything seem off-putting and forced.
Yeah, the poorly written things ruin the good written house things.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
It's written in-house.
Right.
He's going to make his own publishing company called Written In-House. But
yeah, I don't know. It's, well, and then, to me, what also seems more forced to a lot of people is that, you know, whenever, kind of like what we've already talked about, whenever, like, these things come about, it's always, like, caricatures. You know, like, it's never like, oh, here's, like, a normal gay person. It's always like, hey, guys, how's it going?
Yeah.
And it's like, so they're not...
The Yas Queen type.
Yeah, and, like and literally, like I said, like, a while ago, when people see that stuff all the time, even when you have normal characters, their mind instantly goes to, oh, I remember when this thing was just forced. Mm-hmm. And then, like, they're not willing to give that character a chance, even.
Yeah.
Because they just think, like, well, this person's in here just to throw them in here.
And then it ruins really well-written characters.
Yeah, but,
know?
like, why can't these... I don't get why these writers can't, like, understand that concept. Like, just write a good character.
Well, yeah, and here's what I'm saying. Like, honest answer. I'm not asking, like, do you think it's hot? That's not what I'm asking. Because, again, Nate, you and I both heterosexual men, you know?
Right.
We like girls, that's it. And that's fine. Does it really change the Suicide Squad for you in any way to know that Peacemaker likes cock as well?
No.
No. Does it ruin his character for you or enhance him?
No.
No, it does nothing, right?
No, I literally don't care.
It's just about him having
The Peacemaker's a cool character.
Yeah, exactly. And, like, if every scene was him shoving his penis in somebody and, like, I had to graphically watch men's butts get stretched and stuff, yeah, at some point, like, for me, after I finish 5 times, I'm going to be a little tired of it. But, like, you know, I think that that's not how it is ever. And it's a shame to me that, like, people are so off-put by stuff because of how badly things are written, you know? And it also doesn't have to... If you have an old school mentality of morality and stuff like that too, that doesn't have to interfere with it either, you know? Like, it just doesn't have to matter. Like, I don't agree with or love everything every character does ever.
Right.
And I still like those characters. Like, Aiden Pierce is a good example from Watch Dogs. Half the shit that guy does is dumb.
Right.
Like, I'm like, why are you doing this? But, like, I love that character. And so, I think also there's a lot of people who get caught up in their personal beliefs. Like, they were raised Roman Catholic, and they're like, I can't like this character that's gay or whatever. No, that's not true either. Like, you don't have to see every single part of yourself in the fictional character.
Right, it's a fictional character.
It doesn't matter. It just matters, is it well written, and do I like it? And sometimes something might be well written, you might not like it either. Mm-hmm. You know? It's fine.
Nate sees every part of himself in the character we're playing right now.
I see every part of Nate in the guy we're fighting.
Did you get it? I was making a joke that Nate's racist.
I did get it. I was calling Nate fat.
Oh.
So Nate's not only racist, he's also fat.
So he's a
Nice.
fatcist.
A fat cyst.
Well, he is a fat cis, that's for sure. A fat cisgender.
Oh my. I thought Nate was trans.
I don't know. A lot of that stuff, though, I think comes back to tribalism. Just in general. You know, like, people think, like, oh, that gay person, I'm gay, that person's like me.
Well, and that's my other thing. Like, why does this stuff matter? Like, you know, like, newsflash.
Peter Venkman's nothing like us.
Well, yeah, like, newsflash, I'm white, right?
Yeah.
Am I, like, sitting there, like, looking at Peter Venkman, like, this person is me?
It represents you?
No. It's like, he represents Peter Venkman.
That's ridiculous. Also, why did they all, like, get one-shotted and die at the same
because
time?
I kind of learned that he will, like, do that and then, like, launch
Move.
He will launch, like, a big missile that you have to kind of get to cover.
Yeah, this guy is, like, nuking you.
Well, it just takes forever to, like, kill him.
Man, is this COD Zombies? Because we're in Nuketown. Yeah.
Am I in Nagasaki? Because this is Nuketown. Sorry.
Oh,
Man, are we in
my.
Nagasaki? Because I'm a fan of Wolverine. It's a little The Wolverine reference, Jill.
Nice.
Uh-huh.
I'm I'm gonna get the
That's my
Meson
tummy.
Collider Penetrator.
Ah, that's my stomach. Jerk him off.
I actually like that, Joe.
I know you did.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think if you have fictional characters represent you, you're going to be disappointed in general.
Well, yeah, but like, I don't get why fictional characters have to represent you. Like, can't you know? Like, for example, my favorite superhero is Thor.
Yeah.
Am I like sitting around like, oh, this guy looks like me, so therefore me?
Thor is my favorite.
And every time anyone criticizes Thor, it's like, well, now you're criticizing me.
Yeah, no.
It's like, well, no, you're criticizing Thor. I am not Thor. I am Nate.
And that can still annoy you if you love that character, but yeah, it's not you. It's not worth seeing yourself.
Right. It's like, this is not me. Like,
This applies
why?
to straight people too, by the way.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. If I look at like Spider-Man, like, hey, you know, I love Spider-Man. Oh, why do you like Spider-Man? Well, he's straight like me. It's like, okay.
But it
Like,
is
why?
also a disservice to the character to take characters in directions that their character doesn't allow for. Like, so here's a good example of that. Peacemaker's character in the DCEU, at the very least, is new.
Yeah.
Peacemaker's character in the DCEU is very... We don't know all of his beliefs. We don't know all of... You know what I mean? At least until the show where they started clarifying those things.
Right.
That was a moldable, shapeable character, right?
Yeah.
However, like... Spider-Man, there is, 70 years of established lore of every single version of him being a certain way?
Yeah.
So it would come off forced for him to all of a sudden have a sex scene with a man.
If it was like,
Miles
if
Morales.
it was Peter or Miles, I will say.
Yeah, if it was some other Spider-Man.
Yeah, if they made like another Spider-Man and that one was actually gay, it'd be like, okay, this is a different story.
Well, what if Peter and Miles got together?
Because that would just be hot. But like, Jill, we're not talking about that. Can you stop?
Joel, I'm
turning me
already
on?
like really hard.
How come everybody's penis smokes when they get like down?
I don't know. And also, how come everyone gets down in 2 seconds?
I don't know, but you're doing pretty good.
This fight is overly long.
Obese?
I don't know, and that's why I
Overly
think
long
that
and
short
boring.
people shouldn't be able
Now,
to
who is
play
this
any
guy?
tall characters.
What the heck?
What?
You and your short people.
What?
What?
You married a short person.
That's
You
true.
must have a short person king.
Oh man, that was a Sam Wilson reference on your left.
Oh! Is this in the MCU universe?
No, this is in the GCU.
the
this-
GCU?
This boss fight reminds me of that last one in Tomb Raider Legend that we did that just took 10,000 fucking years and was like the boringest thing
Jeez.
ever.
That sucked. That was terrible, actually. Is this the fat guy? Oh no, that's a different guy. Sorry.
Did we already defeat the fat guy?
Here, take a picture of Lizzo real quick.
Lizzo.
Where did Lizzo
Well,
go?
why does these people keep going down? Like, just get up.
Why is these people does keep going down? Yeah, next up,
They having a stroke.
Are you trying to get canceled like Aquafina here?
Oh, no. Come on, Egon, get me up! Get me up, Egon! Well, how come these people have unlimited health?
No.
Get up!
Oh no! Get him up!
If I go down, I'm committing a hate crime.
This is like Revive Your Friends simulator.
It actually is. And these guys have like unlimited health.
Get behind something.
Oh no.
Oh no. Move, dodge! Ah! I am having a heart attack here.
Me too. Okay, that
And
guy's
then there's
dead.
me falling asleep.
Wait, are you tired?
I'm tired of this fight. We've been here for like 1,000 years. We're doing the same thing over and over. Like,
Do you have
it's
anything
not.
base to say?
I just think that like if a short person was here playing this character, it would have been much more interesting.
Look, there's a lot of roles for short people. Let me just look through my shelf real quick. The Xenomorph could be
Really?
a short person.
Really?
A lot of people in Blade Runner could be.
Captain Carter.
The next villain in 007, because all the villains in 007 have a physical deformity.
Yeah, they could have recast Peggy Carter.
Wait, now you're saying short people have a physical deformity?
Hey!
No, you said that. Not me.
Oh no, no!
Did you guys like my joke that Peggy Carter could have been recast as a short person for Captain Carter?
I did, and it just turned me on way too much. Okay, the monsters in Castlevania.
Oh, James Bond.
Why is everyone dead again?
James Bond could have been short.
That's true. The demons in the Constantine movie.
Oh no! Oh no! Get me up, Peter!
No!
Oh, he got me.
I was so terrified. Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh is short.
Yeah, live action Winnie the Pooh. He could be short.
That's true. They could dress like a little person up in a bear costume.
Epic.
A little person.
That's the PC term.
Peter Dinklage could be in a bear costume.
That's true.
Come on!
Oh no! Oh no!
I am 5 seconds from turning this off of professional difficulty.
No, don't
and just
do
saying
that.
I don't care.
No, don't do that.
I don't care.
Please.
I'm gonna sneak into your house at night and just turn it off.
If you do that, I'm not doing another Let's Play with you.
That's a little harsh.
You know what annoys me, by the way, about
Get him up! Get him up! They're all down.
Come on, get up! Oh no! No! Get me up!
No!
Egan!
Oh my.
Look at the red all over the...
I have to edit this. What the fuck, Nate? Get out of here. Yeah,
Well, like, how long does this take to do?
Well, you have to take out those portals on the ground, too.
I was gonna say, it annoys me about PC terms that, like, it used to be PC for somebody to call, like, a little person a midget or a dwarf.
Right.
You know, and now those are considered bad words.
Oh no!
And, like,
oh no!
now you call them a little person. But, like, I feel like in, like, 5 years from now, they're gonna start being like...
come on!
Little person is now not a PC term. That's a mean word. We can call them, like, something else.
It does constantly change, and it's basically regulated by, like, a weird, society council of white old people who decide what's offensive to people. Like, for example...
It's very odd.
Did you know that Latin X is actually considered offensive in a lot of Latino communities?
Yeah, but there's a lot of people that say that.
Yeah.
A lot of white people.
Yeah, they'll be like, "Oh, Latinx, that's good." It's like, how?
And also, even when polled, a lot of Latino and Latina people have said that's offensive to me, but white people keep using it because they're the ones who get to decide what's good for you.
Oh no! Oh no!
Yeah, and that's something that bothers me is I don't like that all of these white people keep acting like they get to decide what is and isn't offensive for other people.
Oh no!
You know?
Pick him up! Pick him up!
I'm trying, but my guy ran like 200 feet to the right.
It's like white people are always acting like, oh, you shouldn't overstep your boundaries as a white person, but also you should be calling yourself. Also Spanish people should be calling themselves Latinx and not
Latinx?
Latino or Latina. And also Asian people
Latinx.
can't speak with an accent.
Well, yeah, it's because people decide what matters and what doesn't. Like, for example, the underlying, even if you're not saying it, here's what the underlying meaning is of that. It's better to nullify gender and call you a gender-inclusive term because gay people are more important than what actual Latino people want.
Yeah.
Because if you're gay, then your identity should be protected. But if you're Latino, you should, like, shut up and get back to eating corn chips or something. They're
It's
literally
awful,
racist.
but that's pretty much what they act like.
The people who do this are literally racist. It's... Oh, no.
They a lot of times they only care about those people because they don't want their beloved Chipotle to be like go to business.
The reason they care about them is they want votes. And they're mad. Like, for example, have you noticed how... Look, let's just be honest here. Have you noticed how the right started being a lot nicer to black people when they found out how many votes they were worth, and how the left started being a lot meaner to Latino people when they found out that a lot of them vote right-leaning?
Yeah, there's actually historical stuff from Woodrow Wilson, who actually said that basic same thing.
Yeah.
Where he said...
Pretty messed up.
Where, I forgot the guy's name, but you had in the early 1900s, you had a black activist, like basically like an early MLK or like Booker T. Washington type person.
Booker T. Washington?
Booker. Oh no. He has one more left. But anyways, he came to the White House and he basically asked Woodrow Wilson, like, why haven't you continued on your campaign promises to like help out black people? And Woodrow Wilson basically told him, like, I'm not doing that. And then he's like, well, why can't you, like, we're getting attacked in the South, why can't you help us? And Woodrow Wilson literally, like, told him, the Southern people will change their ways as soon as they can get votes.
Yeah.
Like, but, oh no, come on!